you feel about monarchies?
Monarchies?
Some people support that.
Like
know what I
you're
mean?
talking about like you're talking about some shit where your family is the king and queen and your firstborn son and all that shit becomes, the new king when
Yeah, dude.
when the
And if you
founding
don't
dies.
like them, you just kill them. Just take your face, dude.
Yeah, that's some North Korean horse shit. It's not real.
Some North Korean horse shit.
No, that's fucking out of there. That's not true.
Some people think that's the way to go, man. They think the best way is a monarchy.
Yeah.
Or to have an elected official, king, queen, whatever you want to call it, president, but they are the say-so, like of everything.
Yeah, see, but that's an insane...
They have a board of, what are they called? Somebody that gives suggestions or like, what's that called?
Hand of the king, consolation,
Yeah.
board of directors.
Yes. Yeah. They have people that, talk to them and, give their opinions of things, but the ultimate say goes on one person of what happens.
Yeah, like the president of the United States, right? But it's different, right? Because
But he doesn't really have that kind of power. He has to have a lot of,
there's checks and balances.
yes.
And so are you asking me if I think that it's important?
What if we eliminated all of that?
No checks and balances?
Just the president.
And
And he
then
has counselors, they can recommend stuff, but he doesn't have to listen to what they say. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, does that sound good to you?
What if you get to vote on him? What if you get to vote for that person?
Well, I guess if you got to vote on him, that's a push in the better direction. but a monarchy, where it's just genetic, like, this is my oldest son and he will be king. That's a little weird because have you ever heard of a serial killer whose father was also a serial killer?
Hang on, though. Hang on. You got to think about it, though, because this person,
It just doesn't happen.
You got a king, right? And king has a son. He raises his son his whole life to be a king. He's not going to school to do random shit. He's literally, his life is learning about how to be a king and to be the best king, a good king. That's what they do. So, I mean, you got to think about that as well.
Yeah, for sure. But you're also painting a case for a child being brought up, having every single thing that he needs, people waiting on him. He's not a real person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can become
Who says that has to be the situation? Like, he's pampered to?
Have you ever met a poor king?
No.
Have you ever heard of one?
No. But,
All I'm saying is that I think that there's some value to live in the real world. I think that you could make better decisions for people. If you grow up knowing that you're going to be the king and that you're always going to be the ruler, it's already hard for celebrities to have a decent life knowing that they're going to have all this fame suddenly, at the age of 12, like Justin Bieber putting out a hit record and all of a sudden he's a fucking drug addict and he's going fucking nuts, and he's in rehab. You can paint the case for Britney Spears and all these. Look at just pretty much every celebrity has had a history of just like, it's hard to handle fame and it's hard to handle that.
So what you're saying is that when you start from the bottom, you don't know how to handle the riches. You haven't experienced what it's like. So when you start at the top and you've been pampered to your whole life, you know how to deal with the riches.
I'm saying that I think
just because you're rich doesn't mean you don't have struggles. You know what I mean?
Well,
rich
that's
people
true.
still have problems. The only difference is they're trained in being rich and they know how to handle it. You give a poor person a shit ton of money. Mm-hmm. What do you think they'd do with it?
Well, I think there's a better argument that they would try to help other people, don't you think?
I mean, I supported Andrew Yang.
Okay, well that's fine, but I'm saying I'm saying that I think that there is.
I'm all about giving money to people that need it for sure. I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to poke at you a little bit here.
I know you're playing devil's advocate with me, which is hilarious. I think that it's funny. But I think that there is value in having to climb the ladder to get to the top rather than being born at the top. That's all I'm saying. I think that you have a better understanding, of what it means to, struggle financially or have to work for what you get. if you're just born, I mean, I couldn't imagine telling Kelsey, like, hey, you're going to be queen as soon as you're old enough. She's going to be like, really? Because as soon as I'm queen, I'm going to start killing people. No, she wouldn't say that, obviously.
Right.
But all I'm saying is, though,
that's what I'm saying.
Climbing the ladder, I think there's value in climbing the ladder rather than, just being born into power. I mean, are you really is this your true belief, or are you just fucking with me? You believe that it's okay to have a family genetic empire?
Let's hypothetically say you were king and Kelsey was your daughter. So she was in succession to be queen when she's old enough. Would you say, oh, one day you're going to be queen and that's how it's going to be? Or would you be like, look, this is serious. You're going to be the queen of the country. Like, you are responsible for all these people. Mm-hmm. So you need to know how to do this, and you need to know how to make this kind of decision. And you grow up your whole life that way. You know what I mean? Learning those things and knowing what it means to be responsible for those people. And also, you might introduce them to some of those people. You might take them into the place that they're going to... I mean, what are they, just going to sit in their fucking castle all day? I mean, I'm sure it happened, but if you're a good king and you're raising up a good king or a good queen, would you keep them in the castle, or would you take them out and show them around the place that they're going to rule? You know what I mean? And introduce them to the people. These are the people you're supposed to care for, and give them a reason to want to be a good king or queen.
In the case that in the absolute best case scenario that you're painting right now for me, that is literally arguing for a king and queen system that is responsible for genocide.
What? You just added that in. That had nothing to do with
it's true.
The picture I painted had nothing to do with genocide, dude.
The system that you proposed is with the most nice, kind people ever in the history of the fucking planet.
Do you like to
it's
think
the
of
best situation? All I'm saying is you can't truly know how... If 80% of your country is living a lifestyle that you don't have, and you grow up in that lifestyle, I don't know that you have the proper, I don't know that you have the proper means to be able to take care of them. I think, somewhat of a struggle, like saying most of the presidents that we have, they got to go to Harvard or Yale or something, and they do all this crazy shit, whatever. A lot of them are born into money. Still, they don't struggle.
Absolutely.
But they're not born knowing that they're going to be given a crown no matter what.
Right.
You know what I mean? No matter what your mistakes or how fucked up you are. I got 6 DUIs, but I'm still going to be the queen. It's just fucking stupid system. You know what I'm saying?
I got nothing to worry about. I agree with you.
Yeah. Well, it took a minute. You're fucking with me is what you're doing. You're trying to get me to argue with you. Some bitch.
Dude,